What if I told you the Holy Trinity had nothing to do with three separate persons in the sky, but everything to do with a profound three-step process designed to unlock the divine power already living inside of you? While that might sound audacious, please hear me out. If you have ever sensed a quiet, persistent whisper that you are capable of exponentially more than you currently express, that deep longing is actually your soul trying desperately to recall a vital lost inner map. Perhaps you feel like you are standing frustratedly in front of a locked door, knowing that your real, authentic life, the one brimming with purpose and a deep, unshakable peace, is just waiting on the other side. I want to assure you that this sensation is not proof that you are broken or spiritually lacking. Far from it. That feeling is the voice of the most honest part of you. It is your soul striving to remember its own true original design. A sacred divine design that has been hiding in plain sight. And today, we aren't simply going to discuss this design. We are going to hand you the functional key to unlock that door. But to properly use the key, you must first fully comprehend how the lock itself was fundamentally altered. You must understand the precise moment in history when this essential inward path was completely paved over, and humanity was intentionally handed a map that led everywhere except back to its true home. When you start digging deeply into history, the first thing you uncover is genuinely surprising. The actual word Trinity is nowhere to be found within the Bible itself. You then discover another critical piece of information. The complex formal doctrine of the Trinity that we recognize today was neither taught by Jesus nor by his first followers, who lived in a state of direct, blazing spiritual connection. In fact, this doctrine was formally constructed almost 300 years after the fact. Crucially, it was established not in a space of contemplative quiet prayer, but during a tense, politically charged meeting known as the Council of Nicaea, which was overseen by a Roman emperor primarily seeking to control a fragmented empire. Their goal was to unify the rapidly growing new religion under one official set of rules, and they quite literally took a vote to determine the very nature of God. In that profound historical moment, a spiritual heist occurred. A living, personal, experiential map for inner awakening was deliberately swapped out for a complicated, official, mandated doctrine. The devastating consequences of that exchange have echoed through the centuries. The path to God was subsequently defined as no longer a journey you could undertake internally. Instead, it became a rigid set of beliefs you were forced to acquire from an external source, a priest, a pastor, a sacred book. Your inherent inner authority was strategically replaced with an enforced outer one. The key to accessing your own divine power was effectively taken, and you were subsequently instructed to perpetually pray to the locksmith. This created a profound spiritual dependency that was systematically passed down through generations, a deeply ingrained belief that we require an outside intermediary to connect with the divine. But here lies the profound beauty: you cannot fundamentally erase a universal truth. You can only temporarily obscure it. The original foundational pattern of the Trinity is so elemental, so powerful, that it is intrinsically woven into the very fabric of reality itself, appearing across everything from ancient global myths to the cutting edge of modern physics. And this is where we see two fundamentally different paths emerge. The first is the path of control. This centralized system, born directly from that politically motivated meeting, asserts that God exists entirely outside of you. It insists you are born inherently flawed and thus require an established institution to deliver your salvation. This system operates based on required belief, rigid dogma, and strict obedience. Its operational power stems entirely from you believing that they hold the necessary keys. But there has always existed another route, the path of awakening. This is the profound path that the mystics throughout time have always traversed. It teaches that the divine is not external, but is the foundational core of your very being. It states that you are not flawed. You have merely suffered a temporary amnesia regarding your inherent divinity. This path doesn't require passive belief. It demands and thrives on direct personal experience, gnosis, or inner knowing. The path of control ultimately gave us institutional religion. The path of awakening grants us true liberation. The formalized Trinity doctrine became the central pillar of the path of control. Yet the essential underlying pattern of the Trinity has always been and remains the ultimate key to the path of awakening. So what exactly is this essential pattern, this universal blueprint, that the path of control worked so diligently to conceal and distort? Once you truly perceive it, you will begin to see this three-in-one blueprint everywhere. It functions like a fundamental law of nature. The ancient Egyptians taught it as the triad of Osiris, the eternal primordial source; Isis, the divine feminine energy that initiates life; and Horus, the child or result reborn in the light. In Jewish mysticism, the first three steps of creation follow the identical pattern: Keter, the crown of pure, unmanifested potential; Chokmah, the spark of initial wisdom; and Bina, the understanding or form that brings that potential into being. It's even reflected in the most basic structure of a family: the father, the mother, and the child born from their sacred union. But this fundamental pattern, however, extends far beyond myth and ancient tradition. We examine this not merely as a fascinating spiritual opinion, but to demonstrate that this is a law of reality as constant and reliable as gravity itself. Crucially, modern science is now increasingly beginning to validate this ancient wisdom. We observe it clearly in quantum physics. There is the invisible field of pure potential source, the active process of observation that injects energy into the field, energy and the physical reality that manifests as a direct result. It is the same foundational three steps, a universal law governing how everything in existence is continuously created. And here is the most astounding part of all. This isn't merely a pattern existing external to us in the cosmos. It is an exact mirror image of the divine technology flawlessly wired into your very own brain. Okay? So how precisely does this work inside of you? Prepare yourself for this. The Trinity pattern is literally reflected in how your brain is structured. Let's look at it through three interconnected layers. At the very foundation, deep in the base of your skull, resides your instinctual primal brain, often called the lizard brain. This functions as the source level. It is the silent, massively powerful foundation that runs your body's autonomic systems without any conscious thought. It represents pure, primal life force. Then you have your middle feeling brain, known as the limbic system. This represents the energy level. It acts as the necessary bridge between your deepest instinct and your conscious thoughts. This is the origin of your emotions, your potent intuition, your creativity, and your profound sense of connection. It is the core engine that drives your life. And finally, you have your top thinking brain, the neocortex, the part you are actively utilizing right now. This is the result level where you generate complex language, tackle sophisticated problems, and bring abstract ideas into concrete reality. Source, energy, result, all functioning right inside your head. The central issue is that for most of us, these three powerful parts exist in a state of internal conflict. We frequently get trapped in our thinking brain, constantly churning with anxiety, and thus completely cut off from our vital intuition. or we become overwhelmed by our feeling brain, violently tossed around by emotions, without any clear, guiding direction. But when you actively learn how to intentionally connect them, when your analytical thinking mind learns to heed the innate wisdom of your feeling brain, which is itself powered by the silent, deep life force of your source brain, you immediately access a state of pure flow, a state of genius. You become profoundly whole. So practically speaking, how do you achieve this? How do you command these three powerful parts of yourself to collaborate in perfect harmony? The great mystics left behind a clear, three-stage operational guide for this precise process. This represents the most actionable, practical component of our journey, the great work itself. It is the methodology for moving from abstract theory to a tangible, lived reality. It happens in 3 stages. The first stage is recognition, connecting to your source. This essential step involves discovering the off switch for your perpetually busy mind. It simply means intentionally locating moments of absolute stillness. You can practice it immediately, just for a moment, become acutely aware of the deep silence that exists underneath my speaking voice. Feel that quiet, persistent background awareness. That is your source. It is eternally present, infinitely peaceful. Your only task in this stage is to practice returning to that silence, even if only for 60 seconds each day. Sit and feel the silence. That is the beginning. You are actively connecting with the Father within. The defining feeling of this stage is profound peace, the unmistakable sensation of truly coming home. The second stage is circulation, trusting your energy. Once you begin consistently connecting with your silent source, something miraculous begins to occur. Your inner intuition grows dramatically louder. This is the energy level. It communicates through distinct gut feelings, sudden creative ideas that spontaneously appear, or swift, powerful urges to contact a friend or initiate a new project. For the majority of people, our noisy thinking mind instantly dismisses these subtle nudges. The primary work of this stage is learning to honor and trust them. When you receive an intuitive hit, do not intellectually argue with it. Just notice it. Become intensely curious about it. You are learning to listen carefully to the Holy Spirit within. The defining feeling of this stage is vibrant excitement and flow, the sensation of being simultaneously guided and inspired. The third stage is manifestation, being the result. This is the crucial stage where you courageously act upon the intuitive energy you have learned to trust. You actually make the phone call. You write that first page. You initiate the difficult, necessary conversation. You consciously draw the energy from the invisible world and bring it fully into the visible world. You become the result. You become the light. You become the sun, the living, tangible expression of your deepest, truest, divine self. This practice is not about needing huge, dramatic gestures. It starts with small, daily acts of courage and creation. The defining feeling of this stage is powerful purpose and deep fulfillment, the sensation of operating as a conscious, creative force for good in the world. Recognition, circulation, manifestation. This is not a one-time event or achievement. This is the continuous daily path of living as a fully integrated, divine human being. Before we proceed to the ultimate final secret, please take a conscious moment to pause. If this feels like more than mere information, if it feels like something ancient stirring deep inside you, like remembering something you inherently know, then you are truly ready. And if you are actively searching for others walking this exact path, others who feel the spiritual fire returning and the forgotten codes reawakening, we have meticulously created a sacred space just for that connection. You will find the link conveniently located at the top of the description. Not just a standard forum, but a true circle, a remembrance. We would be genuinely honored to walk this path alongside you, and if the original Trinity pattern is beginning to stir profoundly within your soul, please comment, "I remember the pattern." Let us know that you are one of the awakened ones. But there is one final essential secret, the element that fully explains your ultimate purpose here. The Trinity, by definition, has three components, but it requires a fourth element to truly come alive and be useful. That critical fourth element is you. Here is the final secret, the one that ties every concept together. A massive power station can generate seemingly infinite electricity. However, it is utterly useless without a wire to carry that current and a lamp to radiate the light. The station is the source. The current is the energy. The lamp is the result. But the wire is the crucial component that connects everything and makes it functionally useful. You are that wire. You are the sacred, necessary conduit. It is your consciousness, your physical embodiment, your unique life experience that provides the essential grounding for this divine energy to actively flow into the world. Without a conscious experiencing being like you, the Trinity remains merely an abstract concept in the vast cosmos. With you, it transforms into a living, palpable reality. It manifests as practical kindness. It becomes inspired art. It results in deep healing. It transforms into unconditional love. You are not just a vessel for the Trinity. You are the necessary fourth point that successfully completes the entire circuit and brings its profound light into this dimension. And that light is not intended just for your personal benefit. It is meant to illuminate the path for others. It is meant to warm the cold, dark places in the world. Your personal awakening is ultimately an indispensable act of service to the whole of humanity. Hearing this profound shift in perspective can feel like a tremendous relief, but for some it might also feel slightly unsettling or scary. It might even feel initially like you are abandoning or losing your faith. But what if instead you are not losing faith at all? What if you are simply graduating from it? Hearing this can feel like a deep relief, but for some it can also be a little scary. It might feel like you're losing your faith. But what if you're not losing faith? What if you're just graduating from it? This is a new, elevated kind of faith. It is not about passively believing in God. It is about intimately knowing that you are a perfect, immediate expression of God. It is not about striving to be saved. It is about the profound realization that you were never truly separate in the first place. This is the faith practiced by the great mystics. This is the faith of the awakened, knowing heart. And it is your fundamental birthright. You now hold the authentic map. The secret is no longer a secret. The infinite power source of the universe is wired directly, seamlessly into your own being. The only remaining question is, will you choose to utilize it? Before you go, if this profound journey has resonated deeply with you, here are a few simple yet powerful ways we can continue together. First, please take a moment to give this video a simple like. It is a quick click, but it sincerely signals to the universe and the complex algorithm that this message carries vital importance, helping it discover others who are actively searching. Second, I have a personal question for you, and I would genuinely love to read your thoughtful answer in the comments below. After absorbing this information, what is one small, simple, practical thing you intend to commit to doing this week to intentionally honor your own inner Trinity, whether it is finding a moment of sacred silence, trusting a quiet gut feeling, or initiating a small creative project? Let us actively inspire one another. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you absolutely do not miss the next essential step on this path of remembrance. And finally, if you are truly ready, For a deeper, committed community, click that very first link in the description to join our private circle. Thank you profoundly for being here. You were never meant merely to worship the map. You are here now to become the living, breathing, sacred territory. Welcome home.